Hi there, skippers, and welcome back to another episode of Sub Sundays, the day when we play Cold Waters.
Con sonar new contact bearing 033 designated Sierra 1.
Okay, and we have a contacted bearing 33 designated Sierra 1. So, I did a little bit of checking, trying to fix our problem of the submarine doing the exact opposite of what we had asked it to do, and found out, hey, there is a brand new version of the Russian submods. So we updated to that, I did a quick check, and yes, everything is working as it should. Once again, we travel forward instead of backwards, and when we order rudder to right, we do in fact turn to the starboard. Excellent. So things are in a slightly better position than they were before. Unfortunately, we do have a couple of problems. First and foremost, the weapons on this submarine are 1980s vintage. The Mark 20S is not so much, but this Tigerfish was introduced in the 1980s, and it is the year 1968. So, we are already a bit anachronistic. While the submarine itself, HMS Dreadnought, was used up until the 1980s, yeah, the weapons we've got, not quite what we should be carrying with. This apparently is a passive acoustic homing torpedo. The Tigerfish is, of course, being much more like the Mark 48, or at least something to that effect. So we've managed to fix our problem, and we've managed to get right back to where basically we left off thanks to the autosave. Unfortunately, things are a bit off from where they should be, and I'm starting to think that this may be a vintage 80s submarine, like the most latest version of the Dreadnought, purely because, well, we have a 39% solution, and he's at 13.3 thousand yards, and he's a submarine. We do know that he is an Echo SSN, I believe. Flip back. Yeah, as you can see,
Con sonar
Echo 2
Sierra
SSGN
1 is classified as submerged submarine.
and he's at 300 feet, so let's go, not speed, we want depth
Make
control.
turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering eye.
We're going to set for
Make
300
depth
feet,
250 feet, dive by.
and we're going to order
Make turns for 10
10 knots.
Maneuvering eye.
let the computer do it.
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 10 knots.
I may turn them off because they're a little bit annoying. They're helpful, but a little bit annoying. Nope, I forgot I did not have manual control over the steering. Or I did not set the computer to do steering. The steering is just doing... The computer is just doing speed and depth management. So we now have a little bit of a problem with our current campaign. We are no longer the pure 1968 campaign that we originally wanted to be. We have delved into anachronistic technology, and unfortunately I only have 2 of these torpedoes, so I can't, like, just sort of force myself to do it. At least not until we get home, and that'll be a while. So,
Dive at 300 feet, dive by.
no, he's gone deeper. So, this episode is being recorded almost immediately after the last episode, only separated by a couple of hours thanks to downloading the updated mod, and because, well, the autosave is now locked onto this. If I start another campaign or mess around with anything else, it will bungle the whole thing up. So, depending on the response I get to the last episode, this may end up becoming a secret mission that gets released at a later date, just as sort of an interlude episode, if you all decide that it's time to move on to a more advanced campaign, so we can play with more advanced submarines. But if not, then this will just continue in the normal vein of Sub Sundays. Wow, you are going deep. You're at 550 feet-ish. Let's go, depth control. We can follow you that deep.
Make depth 550 feet, dive by.
He's going to 600, maybe. Hopefully he's not in the emergency suicide crash dive mode. But yeah, things in the 1968 era have gotten a little bit frustrating. I think we can all agree that things are not going as well as we would like them to, thanks pretty significantly to the fact that, oh crap,
Make turns for
I just realized that
5
we are
knots.
on a
Maneuvering
plus
eye.
6. We do have a firing solution on this guy, and 5.4 thousand yards, and he's in visual. Let's double check. We're almost on the level with him. Zoom
Con
this in.
maneuvering. Making turns for 5 knots.
We're at 2 passive, so when we fire this thing, he's going to pick us up a little bit. And I want to make my course straight north, so we'll go a little bit harder on the rudder over. That way we're more in line with the intercept. of this echo and start bringing it back. Don't want to overshoot too far. 10 degrees on the rudder. 3, a 2, 1, down to 5 degrees on the rudder, and a little bit more. Come on, a little bit. There we go. Course 000. He is turning a little bit away from us. I don't think he's caught a hint of us, but if he does turn far enough north, we'll be in his baffles, and it'll be a perfect time to fire a torpedo. So we're going to get a little bit closer onto him. Take a look at him. Oh, these Echo-class submarines are something of a joke when you start thinking about trying to be quiet, because these huge gaps are actually there on the submarine.
Dive at 550 feet. Dive
Thank
5.
you, diving officer. So, as you can imagine, water getting caught in this creates eddies, and, well, it makes noise! Whereas we have a much more sleek, slender shape, although this is not actually how this submarine is supposed to look. It's basically a skipjack class with its diving planes moved up here, because, well, the playable Russian subs mod, which includes a whole bunch of other submarines aside from just the Russians these days, can do only so much thanks to the limitations of the engine and being locked down in 3D models. So they can move around movable surfaces and like add extra props and stuff, but they can't introduce whole new sub 3D models. Someday the developers have said that they will probably unlock that, but for now they're going to wait until after they get a little bit of DLC out, which, again, I think I mentioned this last time. As a player, I'm not super in fan of, but, you know, as someone who recognizes the industry, I suppose it's okay. It's not as horrible as it could be. And he is at plus 14 on active. He's at 2 passive. He's doing 10 knots. So he's putting on some speed. I would like to fire into his baffles, so I'm tempted to just keep waiting. If he keeps turning, his course is 320 right now, coming to 318. Nope, he's curving back. So I'm guessing this is the tail end of a Crazy Ivan. So we will run, can we turn it active? We cannot, which is accurate. We'll run it as a straight running torpedo, which is nice, and weapon depth on the level. And yeah, I think that's all computer setups ready. Fire torpedo, bearing 003.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
Whew. Always a little bit nervous and worried if it suddenly decides that it wants to kill us. Oh, I did not realize this torpedo apparently is not wire guided. Either that or we do not have the ability to wire guide these torpedoes. We'll have to keep that in mind for next time. And let's speed up time just a little bit. I don't think he's got an idea where we are. This torpedo hopefully will pick him up in time. So do we just not have wire guidance on this submarine, or is it a case of this torpedo doesn't support wire guidance? I'm not sure.
Torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Tube 1 is ready. And he is going up, and he is coming back towards us. I'm hoping this torpedo goes active. Please? Please? If the torpedo's active, it's missed him. Okay. Let's see what a tigerfish does. We're going to go active. He knows we're here now. What depth did you go to? You're up to 400. That's close enough. In case you don't have any sort of thing, we'll activate at 2,000 yards. Okay, so we do have wire guidance. It's just those torpedoes that don't.
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1.
He's launched a torpedo! So the obvious solution is, let's go down.
Make turns for
17 knots.
7 knots. Maneuvering aye.
We've lost the weapon, but it should go active at 2,000 yards, and it should go actually active. So we were cheating just a little bit with this
Passing
torpedo.
600 feet.
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 17 knots.
Oh.
Passing 700 feet.
Whew. When we get to 800 feet, we'll start to come up. I lied because I'm a bit of a coward at this point.
800 feet.
We don't want to go too deep. Come to port. We want to pull away from this thing.
Con sonar, Sierra 1 is cavitating.
She's cavitating.
Passing 900 feet.
900 feet. Now, according to the sub information display in game, it's that our test step, I believe, was 1,300 feet. Come on, go active, Tigerfish. It's not going to. Not in time, at any rate. So we're going to have to get much closer. Should probably have been using a zigzag pattern, because if we had, it would have picked it up. So he is at 200 feet. We're going to have to pop up if we want to hit him. Torpedo above us just went active, but it is above us. So, yep, no detection. Our torpedo just went active. And did it pick him up from that wide? It looks like it did, wow. So that's one heck of a wide acquisition angle. We're too used to using Mark 37s. Torpedo appears to be homing.
Make turns for 10 knots.
He's
Maneuver-
got us pretty solidly.
Make turns for 1
So we're not hiding from him.
Maneuvering eye.
Let's turn towards him. Oh, the sub is pretty nimble. And back down to 0. And yeah, we avoided that pretty handily just by going deep. How fast is this tigerfish supposed to be going? Not that one, because that's the one we missed. This one, however, has a bead on him. From the depths we come. Okay, so he's got his nose down, which means he's got his planes at a negative angle, but he's got his butt up, and he doesn't appear to be going down, which tells me that he's got positive ballast. This ought to be interesting to see where this goes. Like, we're going to kill him, but it's an interesting evasion pattern. Is he trying to get down to our level to shoot us? I don't think so. I think you're done for here, buddy. I don't think there's going to be much survival.
Con sonar lost
Got him.
contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 285. Contact breaking up.
We're just going to assume that the entire back half of the submarine ripped open. Weapons nearby, so we can't just leave. Let's keep going, so that we can get away from the weapons that are nearby.
Make turns for
Weapons still nearby. We'll listen out. Still weapons nearby. Come on, game. We're just trying to leave now. I don't see the weapons. Still weapons nearby. Well, there's weapons on the ship, if that's what you're talking about. No contact of any kind. There we go. Leave combat. So we fired a couple of torpedoes. One hit, one missed. Fine work dealing with those boats. Excellent! So we managed to sink them. We'll have driven off. So we'll hit the continue. Intelligence. Enemy Spetsnaz will landing in the vicinity of Torshavn in the Faroe Islands? Okay. Torshavn in the Faroe Islands is where? Let's go through this the slow hard way. Spitsbergen. Impossible to pronounce. Oh, no, there it is. Okay, so we're already pretty much in position. We're just gonna patrol right along here. I mean, obviously, if we get good enough intelligence early on, we'll take advantage of that, but Is that him? That might be him. They are expected within 7 days, I believe. So we will control this area of the water. You're not it. I think you're it. I really do. If he starts transiting across the way, we might go out to intercept him. 'Tis better to intercept in the middle of the ocean. I could use some air cover, please. Yeah. He's it. Let's kill him. Contact bearing 32, designate Sierra 1.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Alright, so we need to come to bearing 32, which is a little bit to port. Let's check the conditions.
Sonar new contact bearing 032, designated Sierra 1.
We got Sierra 1. No doublet.
Sonar new contact bearing 063,
Two
designated
contacts.
Sierra 2.
Zero out the rudder there. No, that's not it. That's it.
Sonar Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine.
And
Sonar
that's it.
Sierra 2 is classified as submerged submarine.
Okay, so we got 2
Sonar
Foxtrots.
Sierra 2 is cavitating.
Sierra 2's cavitating. Range is 16.7 thousand yards, estimated at this time. And 21.2 thousand yards. Should have gotten closer. Alright, so Sierra 2's cavitating. So we should get good information on him soon. I'm a little bit hesitant to try and rush him. Let's go down. What's our signature at this time? Yeah, again, okay, so this is not a boat that we can pick in the future if we want to do a 1968 campaign, because a VLF towed, no, that wouldn't be available to us. Too bad, so sad. We're breaking some of the rules. To part of that, and this is a little bit of the fault of the mod, of the fact that it gives you all of the submarines and doesn't quite properly label them as to what eras, so you have to know what you're getting into. But part of that is also on us. So, I read that it was
200 feet.
put in during the 60s and served up to the 80s and was like, perfect, it'll be 1968, no problem. And I didn't pay close enough attention. Part of it was I was a little bit sad at losing a skipjack. I mean, the sub had served us pretty decently. We had killed a Victor with it. But still, you never want to lose... You never want to lose a good boat.
Sonar lost contact.
Lost
Sierra
contact?
1, last bearing 030. Contact faded.
Foxtrot 2 is 4.4 thousand yards. Signature? Very, very close. So that probably means that Foxtrot 1 is also very, very close. So we're getting some very strong readings on this guy. I'll bet you Sierra 1 Foxtrot is like here. So that's 0 at the rudder there. Conditions, so we're below the layer, he's below the layer. We're all below the layer here. Run zigzag. Oh, these ones can't run zigzag. These ones? Can they? These ones can run zigzag. He's not making enough noise for this, though. Signature, how are we doing? We might get away with this launch. I'm gonna give it a shot. Activate at 2.5 thousand yards. It'll run active, it'll run level. Let's see what that does to this Foxtrot.
Sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing 028.
Okay, and he's cavitating. Is Sierra 2 now pinging? This will be an interesting run. We'll try and keep this wire on so that we can give constant updates. One of you is probably carrying a Spetsnaz team, and we cannot allow that. So we came back in time from the 1980s in order to deal with this problem. That'll be our excuse until we lose the submarine. Which, I assume we will lose the submarine. If we win with this submarine, I'm going to be a little disappointed purely from the fact that it kind of means that we cheated a bit. But hey, I'll take a win when I can get one. This game is not exactly the kindest thing to people. 3.7 thousand yards. The other Foxtrot is currently at 9,000 yards estimated and above the layer. So these torpedoes are 1980s vintage. They're not ad caps, but they're pretty darn good. 1.2. So range is 1.1 thousand yards. Range to end is 1.1 thousand yards. So it's halfway to our waypoint. And it'll run for 42 minutes and 50 seconds. Wow. So Mark 37 endurance right there. Turn in screws. Is he going to speed up? He may not understand that we've fired on him. The transient may have gone undetected. That'd be really good. That would be really good. New range estimated for that Foxtrot? 6.2 thousand yards? If I were to go active, would I pick him up? I would.
Con sonar, switching to active search. Con sonar, switching to passive search.
Give it a ping.
Con sonar, Sierra 2 is classified as submerged submarine.
It's a Romeo? It's not a Foxtrot, it's a Romeo. Huh, we were wrong. Interesting problem. That means Sierra 1 might be a Romeo as well. No, the thing we got wrong was a slight difference here and a slight difference here. So I'm going to call that accurate. 5.1 thousand yards. Yeah, we got this guy. We'll increase the distance that it's got to run. Make sure it stays kind of silent. Kind of silent with this big, huge wake traveling behind it. If you were to try and hunt that, yeah, we've got no chance with the active here. And he's above the layer. If we pass above the layer, we'll pick him up, no problem. But for now, we will be silent assassin. So range is 3.3 thousand yards, range to target, so he's about 2,000 yards to go on this. We'll wait until we got about 1,000, then we'll kick him on. And that should give us a good killing solution. Come on, show me 4.3 thousand yards on here and we'll be happy. Little bit of timing. What's this? No escape death or something? Oh, silent running. Duh. 4.1.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Okay, that's interesting. So the weapon is now acquired. It's on target. Let's bring ourselves to course 18. Actually, if I do this, we can automatically set this.
Come left to 018, helm I.
There we go. Now we can watch this in peace.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 049.
Ignore the noisemaker. Continue to hunt the target. The advantages of keeping it on the wire.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Ignore the noisemaker.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
keep losing the hint to the noisemaker.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 0, 4.
Second
9.
noisemaker.
Con, helm, steady course.
We will manually guide this sucker in if we have to. Or we may have to.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired. Con, fire control,
You are not getting
weapon
away
acquired.
that easy. Sounds like it's in terminal acquisition.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 0.
Okay, we got him.
1.
Conditions. Okay, make your depth 150 feet.
Make depth 150 feet, dive by.
Kick up the speed to 10
Making
knots.
turns for 10 knots. Maneuvering up.
And start refilling the other tigerfish.
Con, maneuvering. Making turns for 10 knots.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 0, 1, 5. Contact faded.
So apparently we had barely any contact on this guy. We know he's above the layer, so once we pop above that, we should be able to get a better reading on him. Slow down to 5 knots.
Making turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering up.
He's pinging. He's looking to hunt now. Whoa! Torpedo!
Con, maneuvering. Making turns for 5 knots.
So did we get launched on by someone other than this Foxtrot?
Con, dive at 150 feet, dive by. Make depth 50 feet, dive by.
We're gonna go high. That way we've got a lot of water beneath this to dive into. Or we can dive into silence. No visual on that torpedo though. That's a little bit scary. Let's see, last turn was 15. Doesn't tell us where the transient came from. It's kind of sad. That would be very, very useful information to know. Okay, on course. Oh, looks like we picked up the torpedo. So it was fired from the Foxtrot. Unfortunately, we do not have a pickup on this guy.
Con, dive at 50 feet, dive by.
Come to 000. That might take us out of the path of the torpedo. It's not a big deal if it doesn't. But it should allow us to head off this Foxtrot.
Con sonar,
Gotcha.
radius contact on. Sierra 1, bearing 0, 1, 4.
Hiya, buddy. How you doing? Oh, he's got us on passive. He flat out has us on passive.
Con sonar, switching to active search.
Give me an accurate solution on this guy.
Con sonar, switching to passive search. Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1. Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1.
He's launched 2 more torpedoes at us. That's fine. What's your depth? Oh, we're basically on depth with him. Let's get beneath these things.
Make depth 450 feet, dive by.
try and keep the tube aimed towards the torpedo.
Make depth 900 feet, dive I.
Just double check, make sure that there's actually 900 feet beneath us to do that. There is. So he's made a hard right. We'll order our torpedo to follow. We're ducking below the layer. We're going to be able to keep him on passive. Oh, we've lost him on the towed, but our normal low frequency, high frequency passive is still keeping on him. We also have lost the torpedoes. He appears to be steaming directly away at full power. Can you blame him, though? I think he's going to try and outrun the torpedo. He can't, but he can try. Don't recall ordering a turn, but okay. Or maybe I just didn't stop the turn from before. That happens to me a surprising amount of time. Our torpedoes are about to cross. I wonder if we could guide our torpedo into their torpedo. Do you think the game supports that? That'd be hilarious. I mean, there'd be no point. I mean, we have a better torpedo, but still. Counter-torpedo fire. Okay, this torpedo decided to go hunting up high. We are at 877 feet and going lower. I think we're going to get under it, no problem. Order our torpedo to kink a bit. Make sure that it gets towards this foxtrot. There will be no survival. He's doing 14 knots to try and sprint away. It won't be enough. His run to end is 6.3 thousand yards. So long as we can make sure that we get away from all three of these torpedoes, I will be satisfied. And then we can, you know, increase time. So this one's active very high. Probably at about, what, we're at about 100, I think 100 feet, maybe 50 feet. When he launched this at us.
Con, dive at 900 feet, dive I.
Okay, so we are at our depth that we want to hold. Foxtrot is continuing to run. I'm feeling really confident about not being detected by this. I could be surprised and suddenly it does a straight dive right into us, but feeling pretty confident about it now. Swoosh. Swoosh. It's like it's sweeping. Well, yeah, I mean like with a broom. Not that it's sweeping the water, although it's doing that too. Incoming torpedoes. See what they do. We were active on the surface. Oh, the smart thing would have been to fire one high and order one low. But let's see what he did with it. Let's see what he does with it. One's gone active. They've both gone active. They're both sticking to high. I think we're good. I think they're going to both maintain a very, very shallow depth. Foxtrot is now turning 15 knots. He's trying to get the most out of those engines. So we've already managed to avoid one. This ought to let us slip by and avoid the second. Our passive systems are more than maintaining a decent lock on the Foxtrot, so we won't lose anything off of our firing solution. Not that we really need a super accurate one, we just like to be able to see it. Well, I'm really surprised he's not going deep and trying to run. Because that would mean that he wouldn't cavitate, but he doesn't seem to care that he's cavitating so much. And that's one of the reasons why I can be at 900 feet underneath a strong layer, and I'm still tracking this guy. Yep, looks like 2 more torpedoes going to sail right over our head. Not even a clue that we're down here. Okay, so we're safe from that. Yep. Yep, they've passed by us. No worries. You're not gonna get away. Okay, we're in his baffles. Not that he would hear us anyway. I mean, he's blaring away as loudly as he can. We're just gonna get this torpedo closer and closer. 16 knots. Let's go active with this torpedo. Let it pick up some speed.
Con, fire control.
Yep,
weapon
it's
acquired.
got him. It's got him. It's running
Con
silent.
sonar, noisemaker bearing 033.
Con, fire control. Weapon acquired.
That is some crazy turning, and I was getting
Con,
dizzy.
fire control. Weapon acquired.
Let's guide you right
Con,
on.
fire control. Weapon countermeasure homing.
No, I'm just gonna go right into you. No reason not to. So somehow he detected this torpedo on his 6.
Con, fire control. Weapon acquired.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 033.
Ignore the noisemaker. Continue to kill.
Con, fire control. Weapon acquired.
We'll go active. Make sure they can't avoid it. Now we'll go to passive helming. Give him his little warning. Maybe he avoided it. No. No, he didn't.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 032.
Got him. So, a Foxtrot and a Romeo both sunk. Yep, they were transported to the Spetsnaz Commando. Excellent. So that's 2 successful missions under our belt in this, well, admittedly anachronistic submarine, but hey, we'll do what we can. The next mission will be to attack another at-sea replenishment, but that's where we're going to leave it today. Again, we are cheating a bit at this point. It was an accident. It was an honest mistake, but, well, it's not really a 1968 campaign anymore until we lose this sucker, which, given the decent job of the good job of torpedoes that we have, that might be a little while. The Mark 37 is such an awful weapon. Being given tigerfishes that can go at a decent speed and travel that far and be that accurate, it's a real upgrade. I gotta tell you, I'm really starting to think that maybe a 1984 campaign might be the way to go, simply because it's so much less frustrating with the weapons. But anyway, let me know what you think. I've been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I release one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.